Have you ever felt the weight of chaos pressing down on you and wondered how some people stay calm and unshaken? What if I told you the ancients and their Stoic wisdom left us a roadmap to resilience, a way to turn adversity into strength? And what if the power to transform your life wasn't out there somewhere, but already within you, waiting for you to claim it? Welcome to a message not about empty motivation, but about timeless truth, Stoic wisdom from the ancients. This is more than a motivational speech. It's a challenge, a reminder, an invitation to rise above excuses. Life is not an endless rehearsal. It is a stage where every sunrise gives you one more chance to act with courage. The ancients understood this. They taught that every day is training for the soul, that every hardship is a teacher, and every moment a chance to build resilience. We cannot wait for perfect timing. We cannot rely on others to save us. The Stoic path reminds us, discipline is freedom. Control what you can, accept what you cannot, and live with clarity and purpose. Each decision today is carving the shape of tomorrow. Each sacrifice is planting the seeds of your future. So take this moment, breathe in deeply, and step into your life with the strength of Stoicism guiding you. Because this is not about who you were yesterday. This is about who you choose to become today. People who are truly hungry for change embrace what the ancients knew, that discipline today builds freedom tomorrow. To live a meaningful life, you must train your soul the way Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius trained their minds, through effort, sacrifice, and a love for the grind itself. No one is coming to design your destiny for you. No one is going to hand you the future you want. You have been given one chance to walk this earth, one shot to leave your mark, one life to live with purpose. Life is too short to waste behind excuses. The ancients would tell you, stop fleeing discomfort, step into it, close your eyes, see the vision of your highest self. Hold it as the Stoics held their meditations, daily reminders of who they must become. That vision is not impossible. It is already within reach if you choose it. You've already decided that you will not let circumstances or setbacks define you. That decision is yours, and yours alone. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for proof before you act. The Stoics said it clearly, fortune favors the prepared. Failure is not permanent unless you surrender. Every action today is a seed planted for tomorrow. So I ask you, what do you see in your future? What force pulled you from bed this morning? What vision brought you here? You are closer than ever before, closer than you realize. Do not exchange years of progress for 15 minutes of ease. The ancients called that folly. The path is hard, but the prize is freedom. You woke this morning with a mission to chase your dream until it is yours. That mission demands sacrifice. It demands leaving behind the weaker version of yourself. When your body begs for more sleep, rise. When your mind whispers that it is too hard, push. The Stoic path is not about running from challenges, but running straight toward them. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The obstacle is the way. Every setback, every trial is the raw material for growth. Monday through Friday, give everything 120%. Each day is a fresh beginning. Inhale possibility, exhale doubt. A new chance stands before you. And if setbacks come, embrace them, for they are training. Every day may not bring joy, but every day brings meaning, and meaning is the lifeblood of a resilient soul. The Stoics remind us, your competition is not out there, it is within. Others may seem to win on the outside, but if you are losing within, you will collapse. So win. The inner battle first. Shut down every whisper of doubt, every surge of negativity. When your alarm rings and your mind pleads for 5 more minutes, remember Epictetus. You control your will. You control your choice. Act before hesitation steals your future. Use the 5-second rule as a sword. Act in the moment. Rise, grind, shine, climb. Give all that you have. At first, the journey may feel easy. You may run with joy, but resistance always comes. Life pushes back. People push back. The world will test you. When your strength runs out, you must go deeper, flip the grind switch, dig in, do whatever it takes. Chase your dream with fire in your veins. Live with passion as the ancients taught. Greatness is not built by ease, it is built by resilience. Resilience breeds strength, and strength breeds brilliance. Wake up, rise, pour every ounce of heart into this day. The Stoics taught, life is not a sprint, it is a marathon of the soul. If you are not yet where you want to be, step into redesign mode, refine your character, reshape your thoughts. You were created to win, so do not fear sweat, do not fear effort, do not fear hardship. The Stoic way is to see labor not as punishment, but as freedom. What you build through struggle will not only transform your life, it will transform your mind. And when you rise and grind daily, you align yourself with greatness. Greatness sees not just the obstacle, but the outcome already written. So ask yourself, if you cannot rise, how can you expect to win? If you cannot endure fatigue, how will you ever reach the next level? If you cannot push through now, how can you ever raise the banner of victory over your life? The truth is simple. What you put in determines what you get out. Bad days will come, but the grind continues. Temptation will whisper quit, but you must silence it. Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Life will bring pressure, heavy and relentless. But pressure is not your enemy. It is your refiner. Pressure can crush a pipe, or it can create a diamond. The choice is yours. As we step forward into the next part of this message, remember the Stoic truth. Adversity is not the end. It is your training ground. The next page will reveal how pain, persistence, and pressure can be transformed into your most valuable allies. Let's continue. Have you noticed how pressure can feel like a crushing weight, yet at other times it forges a strength in you that you never knew existed? The ancients understood this paradox. Pressure is not the enemy, it is the refiner. What breaks some people builds others. The Stoics believed the obstacle is not in your way. The obstacle becomes the way. Life brings pressure, heavy, relentless, uninvited, but pressure itself is not the problem. As the Stoics taught, the problem lies in how we respond. A pipe bursts under pressure, but coal transforms into a diamond. Which will you become? The ancients knew that every trial can be turned into training. Every setback is a forge for the soul. The pain of today can be the foundation of tomorrow's strength. Think back on your life, 2023, 2024, maybe even the years before. You have faced struggles. Some of you lost someone close. Some of you endured hardship, trauma, grief. Some of you still carry invisible scars. And yet here you are, listening, searching for more. The truth is, those years may not have been your hardest. Life still holds mountains for you to climb, storms for you to weather, deserts for you to cross. And that's not to discourage you, it's to prepare you. Because the Stoic path is not built on illusions of ease. It's built on the reality that life is suffering, but suffering can be transformed into strength. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." The ancients believed that when you control your perception, you control your power. Pain is not the punishment, it is the platform. So, the question is, what will you do with the pressure in your life? Will you let it destroy you, or will you let it refine you? When the weight of the world presses down, you have a choice. You can resist, complain, collapse, or you can step into the pressure and allow it to mold you, to sharpen you, to strengthen you. Stoicism calls this radical ownership, accepting what is in your control and surrendering what is not. The habits you carry today shape your tomorrow. Many of our patterns are not chosen consciously, they're caught, like whispers from the people around us. Friends influence our language, parents pass on their coping mechanisms, society trains us to hide behind masks. And so, we find ourselves living out habits that don't serve us. Stoicism invites us to pause, to examine our lives, to ask if our habits align with our highest values. Seneca warned, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Too often we repeat cycles of fear, doubt, and self-sabotage because we never stop to question them. As a child, I watched my father mask his pain. He wore a smile but carried silent screams. He taught me, not by words, but by behavior, that you push forward by pretending. But Stoicism teaches something different. It teaches us to be honest with ourselves, to confront pain openly. It says, do not deny suffering, but do not let suffering define you. At some point, I decided not to wait for the perfect moment to change. I chose to act in the middle of discomfort. That choice was my liberation, and the same freedom is available to you. Hard work works. Discipline creates opportunity. Good choices open doors. There is never a wrong time to do the right thing. The Stoics remind us, virtue is the only true good, and it is always within reach. No matter how chaotic the world around you becomes, you can always choose honesty, courage, self-control, and wisdom. That is the essence of resilience. Transparency and accountability are not weaknesses, they are weapons. To admit our faults, to face ourselves in the mirror, to acknowledge that we are works in progress. This is where growth begins. You have skin in the game, and that game is life. Each choice you make matters. Each decision creates ripples. When you choose integrity, when you choose discipline, you align yourself with the wisdom of the ancients. The Stoics called this living in accordance with nature, choosing the higher path. Never forget this. You are a critical thinker. You can process, reason, analyze, and decide. You don't need to accept the defaults handed to you by fear or by culture. If you want to go somewhere you've never gone, you must do something you've never done. The Stoics said, Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Change is not about words, it's about action. You are not sentenced to this life. You are invited to shape it. The ancients remind us, what you take for granted today can be gone tomorrow. So do not waste time. Do not wait for the next season. Do not wait for permission. Do not wait for perfect conditions. Start where you are, with what you have, with who you are. Marcus Aurelius lived by this truth. Do not act as if you were going to live 10,000 years. Death hangs over you while you live, while it is in your power. Be good. Your time is now. I'll be honest with you. The easiest thing I've ever done was make money. The hardest thing I've ever done was believe it was possible for me. And that's where most people get stuck. It's not the external barrier, it's the internal disbelief. Out of everyone who doubts you, the worst voice is your own. If you doubt yourself, no opportunity will matter. No door will stay open. No gift will bear fruit. The Stoics warned against self-betrayal, because once you abandon faith in yourself, you have nothing. So rise up, believe in your ability, believe in your resilience, believe in your strength. Life is too short to waste in doubt. This is a call to game changers, to those willing to confront themselves, to those ready to live out their destiny. When you are in love with who you are becoming, there are no days off. Stoicism is not a theory, it is a practice. Every day is training. Every moment is a chance to sharpen your mind, to strengthen your soul, to align your actions with your values. It will be lonely at times. It will demand discipline and perseverance. But the prize is freedom. Pain is unavoidable. That's the truth the ancients did not deny. Every path you walk will carry pain. The Stoic choice is not whether pain comes, it's which pain you choose. The pain of discipline or the pain of regret. The pain of growth or the pain of stagnation. The pain of sacrifice or the pain of excuses. Choose wisely. For on the other side of pain is transformation. So when tears come, let them come. But let them be tears of growth, not despair. Let them be tears of someone building, not breaking. Every hardship is proof that you are in the arena, fighting, striving, becoming. The Stoics remind us, nothing worthwhile comes without effort. Nothing lasting is born without endurance. As we move forward, keep this truth alive. Pain is not your enemy. It is your teacher. In the next part of this journey, we will explore how to choose your pain, how to transform every hardship into a step forward, and how Stoicism gives you the mindset to rise, grind, and endure with unshakable strength. Why do so many people stay stuck in the same place year after year? It is not because they lack talent or opportunity. It is because they refuse to sacrifice. The ancients knew, if you cling to what no longer serves you, you cannot grasp what is meant for you. The future is expensive. Everyone wants to grow, to achieve, to leave a mark, but few are willing to pay the price. And the first currency of greatness is sacrifice. The Stoics understood this clearly. To gain freedom, you must surrender attachment. To gain clarity, you must let go of distractions. To gain strength, you must release weakness. Time is the first sacrifice. You cannot become extraordinary while living like everyone else. 24 hours are given to each of us, but it is how you spend them that determines your future. If you waste them in idleness, in endless scrolling, in chasing comfort, you rob yourself. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not waste the rest of your life speculating about others. unless you are channeling that thought to some common good. Use your time wisely or lose it forever. Comfort is the second sacrifice. Comfort feels safe, but it is a trap. The Stoics warned against seeking too much ease, because ease weakens the soul. Seneca said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." If you want transformation, you must embrace discomfort, break out of toxic relationships, break out of destructive habits, break out of the lull of the familiar. Greatness is never found in the comfort zone. Past versions of yourself are the third sacrifice. Too many of us are trapped by the memory of who we were. We keep replaying old victories, clinging to old identities, but each season demands a new you. The Stoics practiced self-examination daily. They asked, "Am I closer to wisdom today than yesterday? Am I living by virtue now or only in words?" If you want a future, you must bury the old self. You cannot carry yesterday's baggage into tomorrow's opportunity. Fear, pride, and ego are the fourth sacrifice. Fear disguises itself as practicality. It whispers that now is not the right time, that you must wait for conditions to align. But Stoicism teaches conditions will never be perfect. Act anyway. Ego tells you that you already know enough, that you are already great. But ego blinds you from growth. Pride locks you into defending the small self instead of pursuing the higher self. The ancients understood. Only humility opens the path to wisdom. Vice is the fifth sacrifice. We all carry habits that enslave us. For some it is food, for some it is laziness, for some it is spending, for others it is pride or anger. The Stoics reminded us, what masters you owns you. A vice tolerated today becomes a chain tomorrow. Freedom is not found in indulging every impulse. It is found in self-mastery. Epictetus taught, "No man is free who is not master of himself." To walk the Stoic path, you must let go of what poisons you. And then comes the hardest sacrifice, people. Some relationships are anchors. They drag you backward. They chain you to mediocrity. The ancients valued friendship deeply, but they also understood that bad company corrupts good character. To walk into your destiny, you must sometimes release those who refuse to walk with you. The Stoic choice is clear. Do not hate them. Do not resent them. Simply let them go. Your vision requires alignment, and alignment requires courage. Sacrifice is not punishment, it is purification. It clears space for what matters most. It transforms you from the inside out. When you give up what weakens you, you make room for what strengthens you. When you abandon excuses, you discover freedom. When you surrender distractions, you find focus. The ancients knew this truth. The higher life demands a higher price. Yes, sacrifice hurts. Yes, sacrifice feels heavy. But remember, the weight of regret is far heavier. The regret of wasted years, wasted talents, wasted opportunities. The Stoics urged us to live in the present moment because they knew time is not refundable. Tomorrow is not promised, and yesterday cannot be reclaimed. Only today is yours. So what will you sacrifice today for the sake of your tomorrow? Imagine your future self thanking you for saying no to the distractions, thanking you for getting up early, for choosing discipline, for staying focused, thanking you for grinding when everyone else was relaxing. That future self depends on you right now. The ancients often wrote as if speaking to their future selves, reminding themselves of who they must become. Why not do the same? Write down the vision. Live like the vision. Matters. Pay the price for the vision. Greatness requires stamina. You cannot quit halfway. You cannot stop when the road grows steep. The Stoics called this endurance, a steady, unshakable commitment to the path. And endurance is only forged through sacrifice. If you want to be extraordinary, you cannot settle for ordinary sacrifices. You must go further. While others give up, you persist. While others choose comfort, you choose growth. While others live for today, you sacrifice for tomorrow. So ask yourself, what must I let go of right now? What is holding me back from my destiny? What am I clinging to that is killing me? It might be fear. It might be pride. It might be a toxic environment. Whatever it is, the ancients would remind you, let it go. Your future demands your courage. Your vision requires your sacrifice. As we step into the next part of this message, hold on to this truth. Sacrifice is the seed of transformation. On the next page, we will explore execution, how the ancients turned discipline into daily practice, and how Stoicism can help you not just dream, but execute relentlessly. Dreams without execution are fantasies. Goals without discipline are illusions. The ancients knew that greatness is not built on intentions alone. It is built on daily practice. Work works. That was the mantra of the ancients. The Stoics were not armchair philosophers. They were warriors, leaders, emperors, slaves, men who lived what they preached. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire. Epictetus taught from a life of slavery. Seneca navigated politics and exile. Each of them understood. Philosophy must be practiced, not just spoken. Execution is where wisdom becomes transformation. So let's talk about work. Not just any work, but working on your work. Too many people go through the motions. They show up, but they don't grow up. They clock in, but they don't level up. The Stoics remind us that every action must be aligned with virtue. Every effort must sharpen your character. Do not just work. Refine, study, critique, reflect first. Study your work. Observe yourself. If you are an athlete, record your practice. If you are a teacher, review your lessons. If you are an entrepreneur, analyze your strategy. Marcus Aurelius wrote daily notes to himself, examining his thoughts and actions, holding himself accountable. You must do the same. Study yourself as if you were both teacher and student. Do not leave growth to chance. Second, critique your work. Honest self-examination is not comfortable, but it is necessary. Seneca urged his students to review their day every evening, asking, what did I do well? What did I fail to do? What could I improve tomorrow? This daily critique sharpens awareness. It prevents drifting. You cannot improve what you will not measure. So measure yourself, consistently, courageously. Third, reflect on your work. Reflection creates wisdom. Step back. Look at the bigger picture. Ask yourself, is the path I'm walking aligned with the person I want to become? Reflection prevents busyness from becoming blindness. The ancients carved out space for silence, for journaling, for meditation, for prayer. You must carve out the same space. Without reflection, execution becomes repetition without growth. Work, study, critique, reflect. That is the cycle of mastery. That is how the ancients sharpened their souls daily, and that is how you must sharpen yours. Execution is not about doing more, it is about doing better. It is not about chasing everything, it is about focusing on the essential. The Stoics remind us, what is not essential, discard. What strengthens virtue, pursue. Commitment is the currency of execution. Many people dabble. They test the waters. They dip in and out. But greatness requires immersion. You cannot touch success lightly. You must grip it with both hands. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one, stop debating, stop delaying, start doing." Execution means refusing to count the cost. If you focus only on how hard it is, you will quit. If you focus on how much time it takes, you will surrender. Instead, anchor yourself in the outcome. Picture your goal so clearly that the price feels worth it. The Stoics remind us the price of growth is effort, but the reward is freedom. Consider the difference between Dirk Nowitzki and LeBron James. Both reached the championship, both lifted the trophy, but one declined afterward while the other elevated. Why? Because one stopped refining while the other kept working. Do not let victory make you complacent. The ancients taught, success is not a finish line, it is a foundation. You must build again, and again, and again. Increase your performance, increase your discipline, increase your character. The Stoics did not believe in standing still. Every day, every month, every year, you must rise higher. If you are the same today as yesterday, you are already behind. Epictetus taught his students, progress is not achieved by luck or accident, but by working on yourself daily. That is execution, consistent, relentless, disciplined. The future is expensive. You cannot purchase it with wishes, only with work. And the work requires sacrifice, sacrifice of time, sacrifice of comfort, sacrifice of ego. Wake up earlier, focus harder, discipline yourself. While others sleep, you must rise. While others waste, you must invest. While others complain, you must execute. This is the Stoic way. Execution is not glamorous. It is gritty, repetitive, demanding. It is early mornings and late nights, sweat and sacrifice, study and reflection. It is often unseen, unnoticed, uncelebrated. But the ancients knew greatness is not achieved in applause. It is forged in silence. The reward comes later. The grind comes now. Ask yourself, how badly do you want this? Badly enough to sacrifice? Badly enough to execute daily? Badly enough to keep going when results seem invisible? Because here is the truth. Execution compounds. Each small act builds into momentum. Each day of effort builds into mastery. And when the breakthrough comes, the world will call it sudden, but you will know it was earned. So stop waiting. Stop debating. Stop preparing endlessly. Execute. Take the step. Do the work. Rise early. Grind hard. The ancients remind us we do not control the length of our lives, but we control the depth of our effort. Pour yourself into this day, for it is the only day you are guaranteed. Greatness belongs not to the dreamers, but to the doers, not to those who talk, but to those who act. So act boldly, act consistently, act with stoic clarity. Execution is freedom, because through action you shape destiny. As we move forward, remember, this execution without consistency dies quickly. The ancients knew it was not enough to act once, but to act daily. On the next page, we will dive into persistence, how to endure when results delay, and how the Stoic mindset keeps you steady through the storms. Have you ever started strong, full of energy and determination, only to fade when progress felt slow? The ancients would tell you, greatness is not about starting fast, it is about staying steady. Persistence is the bridge between effort and achievement. Execution alone is not enough. Anyone can act once, anyone can push for a day, but persistence, the discipline to repeat action daily, that is where greatness is born. The Stoics knew this well. Life is not changed by bursts of energy, but by steady effort. Drops of water carve stone not by force, but by consistency. Consistency is the true secret. You don't need perfection, you need persistence. You don't need speed, you need stamina. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, if it is endurable, then endure it. Stop complaining. That was his mantra for persistence. Do the work. Even when the excitement fades, do the work. Even when the results are invisible, do the work. Because persistence is the proof of commitment. Too many people quit because they mistake delay for denial. They expect instant harvest, forgetting that crops require seasons. The Stoics remind us, nature never rushes, yet everything is accomplished. Your job is not to demand results on your timeline. Your job is to sow daily seeds, to cultivate daily habits, to persist with daily discipline. Understand this. Persistence requires resilience. Setbacks will come, criticism will come, exhaustion will come, but Stoicism trains us to expect difficulty. Seneca said, "We must embrace adversity as training for the soul. Do not be surprised by hardship. Welcome it as proof that you are on the path. The more resistance you face, the stronger you grow." Persistence is not glamorous. It is waking up early when no one cheers. It is choosing discipline when no one notices. It is grinding through days of silence when no applause comes. The ancients lived by this truth, that virtue must be practiced daily, not occasionally. They wrote journals not for fame, but for accountability. They reflected not for praise, but for progress. That is persistence. Consistency does not mean perfection. The Stoics were not robots. They stumbled, they failed, they fell short. But when they fell, they rose. Epictetus taught, "No great thing is created suddenly. If you tell me you desire a fig, I answer you that it requires time. Progress requires patience. Persistence requires patience. You cannot rush greatness, but you can ruin it by quitting." Let me ask you, how many dreams have died not because they were impossible, but because someone gave up too soon? How many talents remain hidden, not because they lacked power, but because they lacked persistence? The Stoics remind us, control what you can, persist in what matters. If it is in your power to continue, then continue. Consistency builds trust. Trust with yourself, trust with others, trust with destiny. Each day you keep going, you strengthen your character. Each day you persist, you prove to yourself that you are reliable. The world may doubt you, but if you persist, you silence doubt with evidence. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is possible to live according to nature, then live." Nothing is stopping you. In other words, nothing stops you from persistence except your own surrender. Yes, you will feel tired. Yes, you will feel discouraged. Yes, you will wonder if it is worth it. But persistence means showing up anyway. Discipline means doing what you said you would do, long after the mood has left you. The Stoics practice this by setting daily reminders, by training their minds to see virtue as the ultimate reward. For them, persistence was not about achievement. It was about alignment with values. This is the truth. You are building something. Even when you cannot see it, you are building. Every rep at the gym builds strength. Every page read builds wisdom. Every act of kindness builds character. Every disciplined decision builds resilience. And like the ancients taught, no effort aligned with virtue is ever wasted. Persistence requires patience, but also perspective. Look back, see how far you've come. You may not be where you want yet, but you are no longer where you started. Progress is progress. The Stoics celebrated small victories, not with pride, but with gratitude. Gratitude fuels persistence, because it reminds you that every step counts. Ask yourself, will I still be standing when the storm passes? Will I still be grinding when others have quit? Will I still be focused when distractions scream for my attention? Because persistence is not proven in comfort, it is proven in storms. The Stoics trained their minds to welcome storms, to say, "This is the training ground of my soul. This is the forge where resilience is built." You don't need to win today, you just need to persist today. You don't need to conquer the whole mountain, you just need to climb. The next step, small steps, taken daily, lead to great heights. That is persistence, that is consistency, that is the Stoic way. So write it down, commit to it, refuse to quit. Let persistence become your identity, not because it guarantees instant success, but because it guarantees eventual transformation. The ancients understood this deeply. Persistence is character in motion, and character, once built, becomes destiny. As we step into the next part of this journey, remember, persistence without purpose leads to burnout. The ancients tied persistence to meaning, to virtue, to legacy. On the next page, we will uncover how Stoicism connects persistence to purpose, and how purpose turns endurance into joy. Why do some people persist with joy, while others burn out in bitterness? The ancients would answer, persistence without purpose is slavery, but persistence with purpose is freedom. Purpose is the fire that fuels persistence. Without it, your discipline feels like drudgery. Your effort feels like exhaustion. But when you know why you rise, when you know why you grind, then even pain feels meaningful. The Stoics rooted everything in purpose, in virtue, in alignment with nature. They believed that life is not about comfort, but about contribution, not about ease, but about excellence. So let's ask the question, what is your purpose? Not the shallow answer, not the temporary goals, but the deeper truth. Why are you here? What mark are you meant to leave? Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. That was his purpose. To embody virtue, to live rightly, to serve the common good. What is yours? Purpose transforms persistence. Without it, every setback feels like punishment. With it, every setback feels like preparation. Without it, you see obstacles as enemies. With it, you see obstacles as opportunities. The ancients saw adversity not as a curse, but as a calling. Marcus faced war, plague, betrayal, yet his purpose anchored him. He ruled not for power, but for service. Epictetus was beaten, enslaved, ridiculed, yet his purpose to teach wisdom made him unbreakable. Seneca lost wealth, faced exile, endured plots against his life, yet his purpose kept him writing words that still guide us today. So ask yourself, what will anchor you when storms come? What will give meaning to your grind when motivation is gone? What vision will keep you steady when results delay? Without purpose, persistence collapses, but with purpose, persistence becomes joy. Purpose does not need to be grand, it needs to be clear. Maybe your purpose is to raise your children with love. Maybe it is to serve others with excellence. Maybe it is to embody discipline and inspire your community. Purpose is not about recognition. It is about alignment. Alignment with values, with virtue, with who you are called to be. The Stoics believed that the highest purpose was to live in harmony with nature, to live wisely, courageously, justly, with self-control, and everything else flowed from that foundation. When you tie your persistence to purpose, pain becomes bearable. Because it is no longer pointless, it is progress. Every early morning, every late night, every sacrifice, all of it becomes an offering to your purpose. That is why the ancients did not run from difficulty. They embraced it. They believed that every trial was a chance to practice virtue. Every hardship was a chance to prove character. Legacy is the fruit of purpose. Legacy is not about buildings or trophies. It is about impact, about the lives you touch, about the example you leave. The Stoics wrote, not for fame, but for future generations. And here we are, centuries later, still guided by their words. That is legacy, not what you achieve in your lifetime, but what continues after you are gone. Think about this. What will people remember when your name is spoken? What will echo when your voice is silent? Will they remember excuses, or will they remember excellence? Will they remember fear, or will they remember faith? Will they remember comfort, or will they remember courage? The ancients remind us, life is short, but legacy is long. Do not waste the short life, build the long one. Persistence tied to legacy creates joy, because you are no longer living just for yourself. You are living for something larger. When you wake up tired, you remember your children, your family, your community, your mission. When you feel like quitting, you remember the ones who are watching, who are learning from your example. That is why the Stoics practiced role models. They asked themselves, what would Cato do? What would Socrates do? They tied their persistence to the legacy of the greats who came before them. You can do the same. Ask yourself, what would the highest version of me do? Purpose keeps you from drifting. Legacy keeps you from quitting. And together they transform persistence from slavery into freedom. When you live with purpose, you are not enslaved by external rewards. You are free because your reward is internal. You are aligned. You are whole. You are true. No one can take that from you. Marcus Aurelius wrote, a man's true delight is to do the things he was made for. Find what you were made for and persist in it. And here is the beauty. Purpose evolves. As you grow, your vision grows. As you mature, your mission deepens. Do not fear change. Do not fear shifting seasons. The Stoics adapted their philosophy to whatever life demanded, but they never abandoned their core, virtue. You too can adapt without losing your anchor. Your purpose may express itself differently in each stage of life, but its root remains the same. So wake up with clarity. Write down your why. Speak it. Remind yourself daily. Anchor your persistence in it. Let your purpose pull you forward when willpower runs low. Let your legacy push you forward when obstacles block the way. You are not just grinding for today, you are building for tomorrow, and tomorrow belongs to those who persist with purpose. Remember this: persistence without purpose burns out. Persistence with purpose burns bright. Which fire will you choose? Will you exhaust yourself chasing empty rewards, or will you energize yourself by serving something greater? The ancients already gave us the answer. Live with virtue, serve with courage, persist with joy. As we step into the last part of this message, remember, purpose without action is daydreaming. On the next page, we will close this journey with the call to live Stoicism daily, to embody wisdom, resilience, and strength, and to change your life every single day. So here we are. At the end of this journey, we began with hunger, with discipline, with sacrifice, with persistence, and now we stand on the edge of a choice. The ancients remind us, the choice is always yours. Let us gather the threads. From page 1, we learned that hunger for change must burn brighter than excuses, that Stoicism is the art of turning every obstacle into a stepping stone. From page 2, we saw pressure not as a curse, but as a forge, a training ground, a fire that refines. From page 3, we embraced pain as a teacher, realizing that every path demands discomfort, and the only choice is which pain to endure. From page 4, we surrendered comfort, ego, and distraction, learning that sacrifice is not punishment, but purification. From page 5, we moved into execution, realizing that work, refined daily, studied and reflected upon, is the seed of mastery. From page 6, we pressed into persistence, understanding that consistency is the quiet power that outlasts storms. From page 7, we tied persistence to purpose and legacy, discovering that only when you know your why can you endure your how. All of it flows together. All of it leads to this truth. The Stoic path is not about chasing happiness. It is about cultivating inner peace, self-mastery, and strength. It is about waking each morning with clarity, living each day with discipline, and closing each evening with reflection. It is about becoming unshakable in a world that shakes everyone. Else, remember the words of Marcus Aurelius. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. That is the heart of Stoicism. The world will rage, storms will rise, people will betray, bodies will weaken, circumstances will shift, but you, your inner citadel, can remain steady. You cannot control the external, but you can always control the internal, and that control is freedom. Think of Epictetus, born a slave, beaten, bound, yet free in his soul. He taught that no man can enslave your will unless you hand it over. He chose freedom not through chains broken, but through chains mastered. Think of Seneca, forced into exile, surrounded by plots and politics, yet writing letters that still teach us to this day. He saw suffering not as tragedy, but as training. Think of Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, burdened by war, plague, betrayal, yet finding peace in his own meditations. He wrote not for glory, but to guide himself. And in guiding himself, he guides us still. This is our inheritance. This is the wisdom of the ancients. They do not speak to us from marble statues. They speak to us from the trenches of life. Their wisdom was not theory. It was practice. They lived through storms and left us maps. So what will you do with this map? Will you set it aside, treating it as inspiration only for today, or will you take it into your daily life, weaving it into your choices, your habits, your soul? Stoicism is not a speech. It is not a book. It is not a podcast. It is a way of life, a way of showing up each day with discipline, with courage, with wisdom, with self-control. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and imagine the highest version of yourself. Not a version without pain, not a version without trials, but a version unshaken by them. Imagine a self who greets adversity with calm, who meets insult with silence, who meets hardship with resilience. That version is not a dream. It is a choice. And the choice is made daily, hourly, moment by moment. So tomorrow when you wake, remind yourself of the Stoic truths that you cannot control the world, but you can control yourself. That pain is not punishment. It is training. That sacrifice clears the way for growth. That execution matters more than intention. That persistence builds greatness drop by drop. That purpose and legacy give meaning to every step. And that inner peace is not given by fortune, but earned by virtue. Write these truths on your heart. Repeat them until they become your reflex. When storms rise, remember Marcus. When chains tighten, remember Epictetus. When exile comes, remember Seneca. And when doubt whispers, remember yourself. The self that is stronger than excuses, stronger than fear, stronger than circumstances. This is not just motivation. This is a way of life. A call to self-mastery, a call to daily resilience, a call to live as the ancients lived, not enslaved by comfort, but liberated by discipline, not chasing ease, but cultivating excellence, not grasping for what is fragile, but standing firm on what is eternal. So rise with purpose, rise with courage, rise with clarity, rise with discipline. Let the world see in you what it has forgotten. A human being unshaken, a soul unbroken, a spirit untamed. Let your life become your philosophy. Let your actions become your legacy. For this is the call of Stoicism. Not to talk about greatness, but to live it. Not to dream about resilience, but to embody it. Not to admire the ancients, but to walk as they walked. With courage in your chest, with wisdom in your mind, with virtue in your heart. The ancients gave us the tools. Stoicism gives us the framework, but only you can choose the path. Will you waste another day, or will you rise today? Will you chase comfort, or will you embrace discipline? Will you live small, or will you live aligned with greatness? The choice is yours. Choose well, and when you do, watch this every day. Live it every day, and change your life. Not someday, but today. Thank you for walking this path with us. If these words brought you clarity, if this reflection sparked even a moment of peace, welcome to Marcus Aurelius Stoic Resilience. We are just getting started. Like this video if one of these lessons spoke to you. Share it with someone who carries heavy thoughts and needs this wisdom. Subscribe to Marcus Aurelius Stoic Resilience for timeless Stoic truths from the ancients. Until the next chapter, stay grounded, stay grateful, stay stoic.